We often hear that success belongs to the highly focused, the relentlessly persistent, those with perfect plans. This narrative has almost become the standard measure of worth, suggesting that anything less falls short of excellence. But what if I told you there's another path to success? One that might seem more winding, more spontaneous, even a little unreliable. What if the truth is that those who appear slow to learn, less persistent with their goals, or often lack meticulous plans might actually have a deeper understanding of how to achieve genuine, sustainable success in our complex and ever-changing world? Since childhood, we've been taught to focus, to specialize deeply, to be like elite athletes who pick a direction early and stick with it relentlessly. The path to success is often portrayed as straight and narrow. Once chosen, we're told to eliminate distractions. This narrative sounds incredibly motivating and correct, doesn't it? It offers the illusion of a clear, replicable formula for success, a false sense of security. But this model of deliberate practice and early specialization is facing growing challenges. Why? Because the world has changed. We are no longer operating in a kind learning environment where rules are fixed and experience is easily replicated. Instead, we increasingly find ourselves in wicked learning environments characterized by uncertainty, ambiguous rules, and rapid change. In these settings, premature specialization and excessive persistence can sometimes become a curse, limiting our future possibilities. Have you noticed how many good students who excelled by strictly following the rules in school feel lost after entering the workforce? They are adept at running on predefined tracks where rules are clear and feedback is immediate. But when faced with the need to forge their own paths, define problems, or collaborate across disciplines, their past experience can become a mental constraint, leaving them unsure how to proceed. This is the potential cost of over-specialization. A narrowed perspective and rigid thinking. The persistence we often idolize, if it merely means stubbornly sticking to a path that is wrong or no longer valuable, isn't perseverance. It's obstinance, perhaps even cognitive laziness. And that seemingly perfect plan, if it's based solely on a linear projection of the future, ignoring the world's complexity and our own capacity for growth, it's likely to crumble at the first unexpected turn. Now, let's introduce an important perspective inspired by David Epstein's book, Range. His core argument is that in our hyper-specialized age, it's the generalists, those with broad interests and diverse experiences, who are often better positioned for long-term, sustainable success. Epstein's research challenges the universal applicability of the 10,000-hour rule. He argues that while early deliberate practice is highly effective in domains with clear rules and immediate feedback, like chess or playing the piano, it's less crucial for tackling most complex real-world problems. For challenges like career development and innovation, a period of broad sampling and exploration early on is often more advantageous than premature specialization for building core competencies. He contrasts tennis legend Roger Federer with golf icon Tiger Woods. Woods is the classic example of early specialization. Federer, on the other hand, sampled various sports as a child: soccer, basketball, skiing, and more. He didn't focus solely on tennis early on. It was precisely this breadth of athletic experience that cultivated his exceptional coordination, spatial awareness, and overall athleticism, ultimately contributing to his remarkable and enduring success in tennis. This early sampling period helped him become a more creative and adaptable player on the court. This illustrates the Federer model: breadth first, then depth. It offers a fresh perspective on what it means to be a slow learner, to lack persistence, or to seem planless. Slow learner takes on a new meaning here. It's not about lack of ability, but represents a longer sampling period. During this phase, you act like an explorer, trying different fields, encountering diverse knowledge, discovering your interests and talents. In the short term, this process looks slow because you're not immediately diving deep into one area, but this slowness allows you to find a direction that truly matches your inner drive, values, and abilities. It's about being slow now for speed and precision later. How can you practice this? Perhaps by intentionally setting aside exploration time to engage with new fields or complete small projects, focusing on experience and perception rather than mastery. Also, consciously look for connections between different things you learn, fostering the ability to transfer knowledge across domains. Next, let's redefine lack of persistence. This isn't about giving up at the first sign of difficulty or lacking grit. It refers to the ability to rationally decide, after sufficient trial and exploration, that a certain path isn't suitable, or that you've discovered a more valuable or passionate field. It means having the courage to make a strategic pivot and dive into new explorations. This is an adjustment based on deep self-awareness and a clear-eyed assessment of opportunity costs, not a sign of weak willpower. Stubbornly sticking to a path with no future prospects represents a significant sunk cost. How to practice this? Set exploration evaluation cycles and exit criteria for new ventures, like predefined 3 or 6 month review points with clear exit standards. Regularly assess opportunity costs by asking yourself, if I weren't spending time here, what might be a more valuable use of it? And being planless doesn't mean simply drifting aimlessly. It means not being shackled by rigid, overly detailed, suffocatingly grand plans made too early. It allows for more possibilities in life, dynamically adjusting direction during exploration, and embracing serendipitous opportunities. Looking back at history, many great discoveries and innovations didn't arise from strict plans, but emerged serendipitously through broad exploration, cross-disciplinary connections, and unexpected encounters. Think of Darwin's theory of evolution, fueled by his extensive fieldwork. Think of Steve Jobs. The beautiful typography on Apple computers was inspired by a calligraphy class he audited. These were unplanned gains. How to practice this? Try developing a directional compass rather than a detailed map. Focus on your long-term vision and core values, setting a general direction but remaining open and flexible about the specific path. Actively create some controlled chaos, build weak ties, attend events in different fields, and talk to people from diverse backgrounds. Sometimes, seemingly useless knowledge and unexpected encounters can spark breakthrough insights. Let's compare specialists and generalists more deeply. Specialists are like finely honed single-blade knives, highly efficient in their specific domain. Their disadvantage is a potentially narrow knowledge structure and weaker adaptability to new environments, making them prone to cognitive tunneling. Their experience is effective in familiar, kind learning environments, but may fail in ambiguous, rapidly changing wicked learning environments. Their predicament arises when their field undergoes disruptive change or when facing complex problems requiring knowledge integration. They can feel powerless. Generalists, on the other hand, are like Swiss Army knives. Their strength lies in a broad knowledge base and diverse skill set, enabling analogical thinking, connecting disparate fields, and generating innovation. They are better equipped to handle complexity and uncertainty, possessing a wider range of mental tools. Their weakness might be appearing slow initially, or being perceived as jacks of all trades, but masters of none. But their power lies precisely in their breadth. As Epstein emphasizes, effective knowledge transfer based on metacognition, awareness, and control of one's own thinking processes is the core competency of generalists. While each tool on a Swiss Army knife might not be as refined as a dedicated tool, its combined functionality allows the holder to tackle a variety of complex situations. So, why can being slow actually build deeper long-term strength? Cognitive psychology shows that spaced learning and varied practice, while seemingly less efficient in the short term than massed practice, lead to stronger long-term memory and knowledge transfer. Those who learn slowly, if they are engaging in broad exploration and deep thinking, are actually building richer connections in their brains. When they eventually find their direction and commit, the knowledge and skills accumulated earlier can burst forth with surprising integrative power. Why can a willingness to not persist actually help us find the best fit? The economic concept of opportunity cost tells us that stubbornly pursuing something unsuitable or low value means losing the chance to try better alternatives. People who dare to not persist at the right time are actually continuously optimizing the match quality between themselves and their life or career path. Through courageous trial and error and listening to their inner voice, they are more likely to find fields where they can maximize their potential and ignite their passion. This is wisdom born from clear-eyed self-exploration. Why can being planless allow us to embrace more possibilities? Overly detailed and rigid plans limit our vision, causing us to overlook unexpected opportunities and serendipity. True growth, especially in this era, is a dynamic process of continuous iteration and direction adjustment. Allowing for uncertainty, embracing change, and even actively creating controlled chaos can actually make you more resilient and creative. This isn't about abandoning planning altogether, but about keeping plans flexible and open enough to serve as maps for exploration rather than chains that bind us. So, friends, if you've ever been criticized for having broad interests and being unfocused, if you've been questioned for switching paths midstream and lacking perseverance, if you've felt anxious for not having a clear 5 or 10-year plan, then today, I want to congratulate you. You might just be the kind of person with generalist potential, better suited for the complexities of the future world. You might be one of the few who are truly awake. Society often tries to measure everyone by simple, uniform standards. But deep down, you might have always felt that a predictable life, a conventional path, isn't what you truly desire. You yearn to explore the unknown, connect different ideas, and create something uniquely yours. Remember, true success isn't about polishing yourself into a perfect cog. It's about forging yourself into a powerful, adaptable Swiss Army knife, ready to bravely explore and create a wider, more wonderful world. Learn slowly, don't always persist, lack a rigid plan. So what? As long as you keep exploring, keep learning, keep growing, you will ultimately carve out your own unique path to a more exciting and fulfilling success. Which point discussed today resonated most with you? Or do you have similar experiences to share? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't be afraid to be different, because it's often those who choose the road less traveled who drive progress and expand our very definition of success.